It's prioritization of risk. That's the conversation. Risk is the universal language. Don't talk tech, don't talk cyber, talk risk. And when you talk risk, people who are in have decision-making authority, they understand it. Now, I'd be careful if your approach is co-managed IT and you're talking directly to IT people, then yes, my experience has always been that IT people love to talk IT. So you've got to change your game a little bit. But when you're talking to a CIO or a CFO or a COO, CEO, like when you're talking to this C-suite of decision makers, that conversation should be rooted in risk, not in technological terms. And when you do that, it changes the entire conversation. And that's what the cyber score was designed to do, was uncover that risk. So you find the biggest ones and you prioritize them. And this is how you demonstrate value. If you've got good, then you just have to have good tools in place that are able to continue to drive that value forward so that they understand what that process looks like. That I always say price is only an issue in the absence of value. And so everything through your process should be driving value for your client. When you consistently do that, they stick with you long term and they continue to grow.
I love your perspective there. That really is, that's something I think has helped your MSP a lot. I can only imagine. For
Absolutely.
any of the newer MSPs out there, that if you remember anything from this podcast, I say that's one of the key things so far that really going to stick in my mind. Cybersecurity assessments. Ross, it's been great talking with you. And before we go, I have one question from an MSP, actually. We call this the MSP hot seat. So it's a question from an MSP. And they said, we're struggling with tool integrations. Should we prioritize an all-in-one solution or go with best of breed tools?
I would always say, from an MSP perspective, try to focus on channel-only tools. When you get into selling enterprise tools, they can price check you. They can go and do their own due diligence on things that sometimes can just put you in a really bad position. And so I have worked very hard to find channel-only tools that focus on working with companies just like me. And I love to be able to go to my clients and prospects and say, you can't buy this. They won't sell it to you. The only way to buy this product is through the channel. And of course, sometimes that creates some doubt. Oh, well, are they any good? And so, if I can say, well, look, here's their credentials. They're SOC 2 Type 2 certified. They're FedRAMP. They're whatever the situation is. They've got these certifications and these these commitments to cybersecurity behind them. I've even said to some people, oh yeah, it was started by former members of the NSA, and that was enough for them to go, oh wow, okay, great, that's fantastic, I love it, now I'm sold. So you just have to know your client, you have to know what it is they want to hear, and then you got to understand that before you go in. So I don't think you should spend any time trying to decide between prioritizing an all-in-one solution or best of breed tools until you understand your client. That being said, there is no substitute for having a single agent and a whole bunch of tools that all come with that single agent, because agent fatigue sucks. And the more agents you have to manage and the more security companies you have to work with, the harder it gets to go through IR. It's a bad position to be in. So the fewer agents, the better.